Been messing around with this 3-part ramp build a little bit today. So far what I've got is the first lower ramp here with the rock on both sides. That goes to a corner part here, like a landing. And I made it kind of like it's half built up with brick on this side. It's like a little sentry post, a little lookout here. And then, trying to make it look like they've kind of chiseled this part out of the rock. So I'm deliberately keeping a lot of it kind of square. Keep it look like it's been, man-made. It's not all natural. And then the last part's going to be this second ramp going up to the top of the hill, but I've decided to make like a river go through, and it's going to be a cave. So that's where I'm at so far. Happy with the progress and the way it's turning out, but I am running very low on parts, even after restocking over the weekend. So, I don't know, I'm off for a day or two after tonight. Probably go to the Lego store or Bricks and Minifigs. Get what I need to finish this part. Had time to go to the Bricks and Minifigs store. Got to pick a bag of bulk. It is mostly plates and gray slope parts, so we can build up this crossing over the river here. So I'm gonna get this sorted out and then get to building. So the story of today's adventure is I did not have enough inverted slopes to do the arch over the river. So I headed over to Indiana to Madhouse of Bricks. Unfortunately, the owner wasn't feeling well, so the store was closed. So I ended up going over to Ben's Bargain Mart and ended up scoring about a dozen more base plates. Got a frozen set for one of the kids and a couple of these track sets. These were mispriced, so they were even cheaper than normal. And if you don't know what Ben's Bargain Mart is they have retail items, but then they take 40% off because it's a second, a resale store. So I got these for like $8 a piece. I found 3 more Beastmaster CMFs, and I got a poly bag, and these were all like $3 each. So they say $5, but then they take 40% off of the register. So that was a pretty cool score. Then I drug out my gray bulk and I pulled all the slope parts I can out of it, and snot bricks also, because if I have to, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna build a flat wall and put a bunch of bricks on it, on it with the snot bricks. So that's my goal this afternoon. Use as much of this as I can and get the arch and the second ramp built. Okay, so the ramp is done, and I wanted to just kind of highlight the part in the back there where I did the river and the kind of the ramp over it there, kind of made an arch. So we already talked about these 2 parts. This is the part I wanted to show. Pretty happy with the way it came out. Got the water detail going through the bottom there. Got like an archway kind of going through, like the water kind of cut through it. Use a lot of slopes, anti-slopes, and snot bricks. But I'm really happy with the way it came out. And the way I ended up doing the bridge was I made, so this is the road part, but I made this upside down piece here with a bunch of slopes on it. It was just the easiest way to do it. And I built up both sides to where this just kind of rests on there. So it rests like that. And the road plate is just going to rest on top of that. So that is done. And it lines up just right with the top of the mountain I already have built. So I'm excited about that also. Turned out good. My next step is to get the rest of the mountain out of storage. Biggest chunk of it's right back there. Rest of it's in totes, probably under this table. So I am going to get all that out tomorrow after work and see where this lines up the best. And I'm probably going to have to either make or modify one of the mountain fronts to where this meets up to it. I think with the mountain originally being a having a train line through it, I might just bump this up to the edge where the train would start and just cover that up so you can't tell. So I don't know, we'll get into that tomorrow. All right, I got most of my blocks and parts sorted, put to the side. I'm about to start digging through the totes below the table to find the rest of the mountain. I did finish mills plating these two parts. This is supposed to be like a pond, so I need to find a lot more flat tiles because I want this water to look flat and still. So that I'll find while I'm going through all the totes. So I'm gonna start going through totes, doing inventory, and hopefully here in a little bit I'll have a large mountain on this table. Start figuring out how I'm going to lay it out with the ramp. Okay, so I've dug through most of the totes. I have found the main part of the mountain being the Chamber of Secrets mock, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single base plate parts. I thought there was 9, so I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm gonna unwrap all these and figure out what I've got. And then I feel like I've gone through every tote in this room so far, but I'll take a second look here after dinner. So I got most of the mountain out of storage. I couldn't find the last part that went back there. It was because it was completely collapsed and folded down and only like this tall in one of the totes, and that threw me off because I was looking for a large block. But anyway, I'm gonna rebuild this, pop it in the back here where it's supposed to be, and then we're gonna see where we can try and fit this ramp in. I'm probably gonna have to modify one of these sides or build something new. We'll see how it lays out. Okay, so I've got all the mountain parts out, and my issue is all of these are built on a 16 base plate style, so the tops are all they're all 32 studs at the bottom, and they're all 16 at the top. And depending if they're a corner or a side, they're 16 in the back is what it is. See what I'm saying? So they're all 2 base plates, but I built the ramp at 16 in the middle. So I've got to build a part to adapt this to that, but I've got one extra side, so I think I'm going to take this piece here and tear it down and rebuild it to where it's a full 32 by 32 on top, and that lines up with this ramp on this front side. So that's where I'm at now. Probably take care of that tomorrow because it's getting late. All right. I honestly don't know where I'm at right now, what I'm doing as far as the projects go. What day is this? It's the last day of June. It's a Monday. I was trying to build this up. I ran out of parts. I did get to break some minifigs and get a big bag of bulk today. It's got a lot of good pieces to finish building this up and to work on part of that project on the backside, to hang the baseboards to look like a rock face. Got some parts also to make this corner. I've decided it's going to be a waterfall. Why not? I just need one more thing to make this more complicated. So I got parts to work on that. Right now I got too many totes in here, different projects. So I did break down one tote today and get rid of a lot of it for trade. For the bulk, I got to brick some minifigs. But yeah, I need to work on this, and then I need to start putting this back in storage, or either consider it finished, move it out to the garage. That way it's not in here and I can go work on the next project. So that's our goal this evening. So real quick, what I got from Bricks and Minifigs, I did purchase 2 of these 6-packs of brown rock parts, and I purchased 2 brown ladders. I thought they would look good in the village. Everything else is bulk. Got a big bag on the trade. Like I said, it's just a lot of filler brick. There's some plating in there, lots of slopes, pieces I can use to build brick walls. Nothing real fancy or exciting, just a whole bunch of stuff I need for the next step. Something worth pointing out, if you're ever using Duplo as a foundation for a large build like this, and you're transitioning to the 2x4 or the 2x whatever bricks on top, make sure they do not have these cross supports around the anti-studs, because the anti-stud is what fits over the Duplo stud. So this part will fit, but only because you see how the anti-studs line up with the Duplo stud. So that'll fit there. Any 2x2 or 2x4 brick, no problem, because that support on that middle anti-stud is in the middle. So it just fits on there. Old style 2x4s are the best bet because they don't have that cross support in the middle, and they will fit anywhere. You can put a 2x2 brick basically. So what I gotta do now is build up 2 layers of regular Lego bricks and then 2 plates, and that should be level with the top of the green plate there on the other build. So, got 2 major parts done last night. Finished this large piece here that's going to connect the ramp to the main landing, so it can just sit in there. Like I said, I had to build something that came out past the half plate that the other corners of the hill were based on, and if it lines up, looks like that. Get it perfect. So happy with the way that lined out. Looks good on both sides. And then, like I said, decided to do a waterfall, so I made this facade or just faceplate, whatever it is. It's just a corner piece that'll fit in there covers up all the Duplo that's inside, holding up the structural for the other parts. But I also didn't want this to be locked in on this shape, so I made it to where it will sit in that corner, but I can turn this if I want to, if I want the river to go this way rather than that way. It just sits on there. So I'm going to play around, get some water elements coming out the side there. I left a hole with a couple of Technic pins, some black brick should I say, up in the back there. So that is my next goal. I'm going to play around with that a little bit today. But it is Tuesday. I think it's July 1st today. It's the week of July 4th. So I've got to work a couple of shifts. I don't know if I'll be doing a lot this week. So this will be the last part of this video. And then anything I do get on this week, I'll pop in the next one. So thank you again for watching. Please consider subscribing if you're not. Please drop a like if you are enjoying the videos. And we will catch you on the next one.